So anyway, this is from the Muslim scholars. I presume you're Sunni.
But yeah, my brother, but because him is so.
Yeah.
You know, myself, I'm not practicing, but still, it's our religion.
Yeah, so let's see what your scholars say. He says, it's proven in As-Sahih that the Prophet said, whoever loves a people is one of them, and a man will be with those he loves.
Okay.
Loving the enemies of Allah is one of the greatest dangers to a Muslim.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because loving them implies agreeing with them and following them, or at the very least not denouncing them. Hence the Prophet said, whoever loves the people is one of them.
Yeah.
The second condition is that he should be able to practice his religion openly, meaning that he can perform the rituals of Islam without any impediment. So there should be nothing to prevent him from establishing prayer, Jummah and prayers in congregation.
Yeah.
And so it's mentioned. All right.
Is that an hadith?
No. This is the Islam QA, so he's going through the different hadiths relating to the ruling.
Yeah.
I'm just going to find the part where.
Well, I don't know.
No, but
all I'm seeing that people, we have no choice but to coexist, brother. To coexist. That's all I'm just saying. Do you agree with that or no? Do you agree that we should coexist?
Oh no, that's in the Bible.
These two communities, Christian and Muslims, they should live together. I mean, they should.
No. With Christians we agree, but Muslims.
But how could you say that? How could you say that? The Christians, they are the same. They are the same also. They have got hate. They have got hate against them, against the Muslims.
Really? So you see loads of dead Muslims here?
No, I don't see the dead Muslims.
So where's the hate?
Yeah. But what I'm saying that is.
Right. So if we go to Syria, are the Christians already be happily there?
But they did. They live there until now. Until these Western people they interfere. They live peacefully, brother. They did. In Jerusalem also, Jerusalem, they live very peacefully together. But when Britain went there, they destroyed it. Yeah, you got to understand that. These different, in a way, people from European countries. Yeah.
So are you telling me that allowing Muslims to come in, and paying for their housing and giving them benefit, that's showing hate to them?
What do you mean? But the Muslims in here, my brother, they work, they pay taxes.
All of them?
I mean, yes, most of them they do, brother. I'm Afghani and I see all of my people, they're working. They're paying their tax, they're doing. Yeah, some people similar with other, members of community. They when they have got low income, of course they have to be looked after. Yeah. So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that Britain is giving them for free something?
So they're asking them to pay for the benefits, are they?
The benefits, but it is universal. But it's the Muslims, or why you are single out the Muslims, because the Muslims are also part of the community.
No, but
yeah.
When I hear, like, what area of London are you in?
I'm in Lewisham.
Yeah. So even then, that's a reasonably posh area. But our people tend to live in areas which are worse than where the immigrants live.
Okay.
And a lot of us are born here.
Yes, of course you are born here.
And we don't get as good places as the immigrants.
But in a way, in my opinion, Muslims are the most neglected. You know, the unemployment in the Muslim area is so high because it is the prejudice. Because they face prejudice, my brother. They just face prejudice. When they want to apply for some jobs, they will not get it. It's because of the name of their names, or maybe it is their look. So it is difficult to get a job. You know?
Yeah.
Because in the Muslim areas, unemployment is higher because of this. Yeah. So you are saying that they are, Britain is doing them a favor.
Yeah. So why are you saying about? Why did you make that statement about hating Muslims? You made that statement earlier.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that there are hate also because there are people you cannot guarantee them. There is hate against the Muslims. They hate them because they don't want them to be here. I just want you. What is your solution? I just want you to say that Muslim. Let's say 5 million, 6 million Muslim living here. So what is that? Your suggestion? What should be done? I say we should live together and just not to harm each other, not to
Go to the average.
But what you do is you just go there and find things which is I don't know.
I'm trying to.
I never saw anything like.
Every man.
I'm trying to find.
Every woman. Every child. We are saved.
It's hadith I was looking for. So it's
Anyway, you tell me what was that this for?
So it says Jarir ibn Abdullah reported the Messenger of Allah sent a brigade to Khatam. Some of their people sought protection by resorting to prostration, but were hastily killed. When the Prophet was informed of that, he ordered half the blood money to be paid for them, saying, I am not responsible for any Muslim who stays among the polytheists. They asked, why, O Messenger of Allah? He said, their fires should not be visible to one another. So that's the hadith. So now here's the thing. When you're at home, you look out the window, and you see the light in that window of a polytheist.
Okay, well, to be honest, I don't get that. What is the story?
No, so they went to attack a place.
Yeah.
Some guys came out, didn't want to be killed, so to avoid being killed, they prostrated. To say they're Muslims.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, but the warriors killed them anyway because they worried it could be a trick.
Okay.
So when they came to Muhammad and told him, he said there was only half the blood money. They had to pay for this because they were among the polytheists, so he's not responsible for them. So all the Muslims here packed into this place.
Yeah.
If some Muslim army came, say Islamic State came and wiped them all out, then the Sheikh would just say, well, quote this hadith and say, you only have to pay half the blood money for all those dead Muslims here because they're among the polytheists, aren't they?
Okay, so it means that they will be counted as this polytheist.
No, their blood money is not, it's only half.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the rule, he says, to stop that from happening again is that that's why he says their fires should not be visible to one another. So if a Muslim comes and lives with the polytheists, you mustn't be able to see their fires.
Okay.
So that's the only safe way for a Muslim to live with the polytheists.
To see their fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to make sure wherever you are, you can't see the fires of the polytheists. So if you're living in your house and you open your window and you can see their light, that means you're too close. So according to your Prophet, you shouldn't be there.
Alright, let me check my brother. This is I just want to see Muslim, Muslim. The name of the hadith is okay.
It's Tirmidhi.
Tirmidhi, okay.
And Nasai as well. But you can read, here's the explanation if you want to read it.
Yeah, okay.
So the Sheikh's explaining.
Is it, okay.
So he's explaining that.
Prophet may have sent an army brigade to a group of tribes of Khatam. who were disbelievers. This toll resulted to prostration to show that they were Muslims. However, the Muslims hastened to kill them, thinking that they were polytheists, and because they stayed among the polytheists, when it was later confirmed that they had converted to Islam, the Prophet and the blessing made their blood money half of that of a Muslim.
And he was censored in every way.
He did not give them a full blood.
No, but keep reading.
Okay, a full blood money, because they were the reason behind their own killing.
See, it's dangerous, isn't it? No, keep going.
The Sharia forbidden staying in the land of disbelievers, such that Muslims should not meet the disbelievers or their fires. Cross them. This means that they should not be close enough to see each other's fire. See, the purpose was for the Muslims to dissociate themselves from the disbelievers and people. So
now, you have to go to Hadith Inc., find one of their scholars, and tell him that he's lying, isn't it? Would you do that?
Okay.
Or is he telling the truth?
So this is the Hadith, yes. This is the Sahih Hadith. Sahih Hadith, yeah?
Well, they say it's authentic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's specifically Hadith, but the scholars, they agree. That's authentic.
Okay.
And this is the scholar's explanation.
Okay. So I can guarantee you there is a response for that. But even this man would answer you this. But I'm sure you must have asked this question. I will show them.
Well, I showed a different one. I didn't find this one where the Sheikh had the proper explanation.
Because, I mean, it is impossible that they should not have an answer for this.
Yeah, but look, he said the Sharia forbids. So how can
the Sharia forbids?
Yeah, so how can another scholar come against what this guy is saying?
So what you're trying to say that the Muslims here, they pretend that we are happy here, we can live together. Is that
but not according to so they're not following Sharia. They're just following their own desires. Because you read what the scholar said.
But my friend, there's a lot of things. Even you don't, as a Christian, they don't follow. So Muslims are the same.
Yeah, but we're allowed to stay amongst unbelievers. So that's something we can do.
You're allowed to stay that disbelievers according to you. Okay. So the Muslims are also doing that the same thing?
Yeah, but that's the problem. You're Sharia scholar.
I will bring my friend will come, because I never come across this. So I will find somebody knowledgeable.
If you've got a website.
With a good English.
Yeah.
Because the Muslims say there's nothing to keep us away from the rest of the people of the books.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The only legal ways that you can be among them without not seeing their fires is you have to be going to convert them or to fight them. That's it.
That's according to this.
Well, not according to this, but if you, I mean, I don't know, it's a shame that old scholar, that old sheikh guy.
That one is there also. This one, very big mouth.
Abbas. No, Abbas.
I want to make sure you don't. Let's be
You're going to all the guys that don't like me.
no. Excuse me, brother. There is this man has brought a hadith. I just want you to, because I disagree with it. What he says is. You're Michael.
All right.
So this hadith. Yes. First of all, I don't know what is the name of it. Tirmidhi.
No, it's narrated by Tirmidhi and Nasai and Abu Dawood.
Yeah.
He tells you down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what he says that it's impossible for the Muslims to live.
No, not me. The scholar tells you on the page.
Okay. Sorry. So but the gentleman.
Abdullah reported the Messenger of Allah sent a brigade to Khattam. Some of their people sought protection by resorting to prostration, but were hastily killed. When the Prophet ﷺ was informed of that, he ordered half the blood money to be paid for them, saying, I am not responsible for any Muslim who stays among the polytheists. They asked, why, O Messenger of Allah? He said, their fires should not be visible to one another. Okay, so this is from Abu Dawud, yeah?
But the Sheikh actually gives the explanation.
The commentary.
What is this, a Sahih hadith? What is it?
No, it says authentic, but it's Tirmidhi and Nasai and Abu Dawood.
So what's your point?
No, if you read the Sheikh...
this one.
No, you just say, what's your point? You must have read it.
Yeah,
what's your point?
No, I agree with what the Sheikh says.
What did he say? I don't have to read. Just
the Sheikh agrees with the hadith. What you mean?
No, I agree with what the Sheikh... Because the Sheikh... If you look at...
The Sheikh...
Look here.
It seems like it was a war. It seems like it was a battle.
No,
but even the polytheists didn't want to fight, but if some Muslims killed them.
Yeah, but look, if you look here, it says the Sharia forbids staying in
disbelievers.
Yeah, so that's the whole point.
Really? But Muhammad Sallallahu didn't?
No, ask that Sheikh.
No, but Muhammad Sallallahu didn't.
Yeah, but
that's why I was trying to...
He sent Muslims to Habasha, to Christian king.
Okay, so
he himself say go and live there in peace.
Okay.
You're recording me. You need to ask my permission of it.
Okay, so see that I'm telling you, I didn't know it was now see that what do you think about this? If Muhammad
Prophet himself sent
Muhammad has sent people to Habasha to live among them.
The Christian king, Najashi.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means that
land, non-Muslim land.
So it means that you can't coexist. What I was trying to say to the gentleman, that we can coexist.
Yes.
But what's your point?
The Christian community, Muslim community, we have no problem. But you say that it's impossible.
Here the Sheikh is wrong here. Why? Because this hadith is not saying you can't. The thing is happened here. Now you have to go back in time. In the time of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there's a kuffar, they wanted to kill Muslims. They are fighting Muslims. So at that particular time, those kuffar who are enemy of Islam, he's saying, why you Muslims are living over there, who are enemies of Islam? So if any country want to destroy Islam, especially want to fight against the Prophet at that time, so no Muslim should be living with them. Because they are enemies of Islam. They want to destroy Islam. Now I tell you something. If Britain today decided we want to destroy Islam totally, I as a Muslim will not live here. If Britain today decides we are going to fight against Islam, destroy Islam, if they openly say that, I as a Muslim, if I believe in Allah, I will never live with them. I will go. This is what it means. If they are enemies of Islam, don't live with them.
But it says policy.
Okay, so do you see that?
Policies at that time were enemies of Islam. They're fighting against.
Well, you said there was Christians that he said those guys too, wasn't it? Was it Christians he said those? You remember you said you're... Yeah, but he said polytheists.
So what's the difference? Polytheists. Disbelievers.
No, they're not people of the book though.
No, I thought he says we want to live in the land of non-Muslims. I know. You say forbid staying in the land of disbelievers. So disbelievers are who? Christians are disbelievers. Jews are disbelievers. Polytheists are disbelievers. But that's the Sheikh saying that. Yeah. So Muhammad sent Muslims to disbelievers. Christians are disbelievers.
No, that's people of the book.
Are you people of the book are believers or disbelievers?
Oh, disbelievers. But your prophet did say polytheists.
No, the polytheists are not. They are mushrik. They are mushrik. The mushrik means polytheists.
Yeah.
Disbeliever meaning those who do kafir, kafir, kufr. Disbeliever means kafir. So you are a kafir.
Okay, in a way, because you don't
Jews is
believe
a
that.
kafir, Hindu is a kafir, atheist is a kafir, agnostic is a kafir, polytheist is a kafir. So disbeliever is a general term of anybody who does not believe.
Yeah.
Either you are a believer or either you are a disbeliever.
Oh,
Who's
right.
a believer? Who's a believer?
Who's the Muslims or believer?
Anyone who does not believe in Islam is a disbeliever. For you, I am a disbeliever. I do not believe in Jesus as my God. So you are a believer, I am a disbeliever.
Okay, yeah. See,
So disbeliever is the general umbrella term.
did you get there?
Yeah, but remember,
So Sheikh said that it goes against the Sunnah.
Okay.
So that's why we disagree with the Sheikh's opinion. It's his opinion.
Sheikh opinion.
Yeah,
that.
Muhammad Sallallahu sent people to Christian
To live
land.
in the Christian, yeah.
And there were people living in Makkah as well. Non-Muslims living in Makkah.
See,
at that time as well.
that's what I was trying to the gentleman, that people
okay,
can live.
but do you know of the name of a scholar who disagrees with this ruling?
Name of the scholar?
Yeah, who disagrees with this ruling?
Doesn't matter.
Because if we go in Islam
If
two
any
ways,
scholar goes against the Sunnah, doesn't matter how great your scholar you are.
yeah, but when I look this up on Islam 2A, I get the same ruling. So, and this is Hadith Inc.com, and I get the same ruling again. So then,
I know, the ruling is one thing. They have to show that Muhammad Sallallahu clearly says that the Sunnah that do not live with non-Muslims.
Okay, you mean that they should show.
What we're saying is
What is your proof that to say that?
how we harmonize it, that Muhammad Sallallahu send Muslims to Christian land, and then Muhammad Sallallahu says, I'm not responsible for those Muslims who are living in polytheists. How we harmonize it, that time Muslims were in fight with those polytheists. They want to, and we know there are many policies who want to destroy Islam.
Yeah.
When they came to Medina fighting many times. So we harmonize it. That must be that contextual, that those people were enemies of Islam. And Muhammad Sallallahu saying, if you live with them, you are not with us.
Okay, so that's for that time.
This is how we harmonize that.
That's
but you know what you just said there, the Sheikh actually explains it at the end. If you read
the
it.
Sheikh.
This means that they should not be close enough to see each other's fire. The purpose is the Muslims. Where is it?
No, if you read from
Okay, read it, brother.
read from where it says the Sharia forbids.
Sharia forbids staying in the land of disbelievers such that Muslims should not meet the disbelievers of their fires cross.
So you can still stay in the land.
War. You're talking about war, yeah?
No, but he's not saying you can't stay in the land.
Yeah, right.
He's giving the ruling on when you're in the land. He's telling you how you should be with them.
So you are agreeing with the brother. He earlier says you can't stay. You saying that earlier you saying Muslims not supposed to stay.
No, I just said to the gentleman that it always has happened that Muslims lived with the non-believers. They lived.
You're right.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is,
So what's the problem here?
But he's basically ruling on what Muhammad said, which is that you mustn't be able to see their campfires. So he's saying that if you're staying with the unbelievers, you have to stay in such a way so you don't see their campfires. That's what it says.
Yeah, meaning don't be with them in the campfires. Meaning when they come in the battlefield, yes, their camps, that's Muslims' camps. So do not be in the camps with those people who want to fight Muslims. Even if you're living with them, stay away from them. Because we are going to be there to kill them. They are going to kill us. So if you're going to get killed, you better be not with them.
Yes, that's
But
right.
I go a step further.
Right.
I say if I'm living in this country and tomorrow there's a war between Muslims and here, especially they want to destroy Islam. Okay. If Muslims are wrong, for example, Saudi Arabia attacked today, I'm not talking about all Muslims. Some Muslims just say something differently. My belief is this: if Saudi Arabia attacked this country today, I will not take Saudi Arabia side because I will say they are the wrong. If they attack, if they are oppressors,
what do you think
even if
about
I'm living with non-Muslims, I am living here, I am saying you are wrong, you're not supposed to do that. But if this country today decided we want to destroy Islam forever, I'm going to leave this country today.
Yeah, but
I'm saying Muhammad Sallallahu was very soft. He should have said they are our enemies, don't live with them. But he said no, at least don't be with them.
yeah,
I would say he was very soft.
But that's actually what I said to him. I said that he shouldn't be here if he could open his window and see the lights of the unbelievers. That's what I told him.
No, he's talking about battlefield.
It doesn't say
No,
battlefield.
because
It doesn't say
okay, do you know that when Muhammad Sallallahu went to Khyber, to attack Khyber, Jewish land. He told his, tomorrow morning we're going to attack the Khyber. Yeah? He said, your campfires, because they were not very big army, he said, spread your campfires in the night time. So when they see you are so much spread, make gaps. So they see your campfires, they will get scared. There's such a big army. So campfire was all talked about. Before the war, you're going into the place to fight. Next morning you will fight. They don't fight in the night time. They fight in the morning. So you got to put your campfires on. So of course you put your campfires. When you go stay, you have to put fires on. There was no light.
Yeah.
So he's talking about that campfires in the army. We have our campfires. They have their campfires. You Muslims, you better stay away from their campfires because we're going to fight with them. No, don't be near them. Or are you telling me in the cities people live in the camps and not in the houses? Camps are in the field.
Camps are in the field. What do you think about that? Yeah.
No.
Use your common sense. They're living in the houses.
See, I cannot, but...
No, because
they're living in houses. Camps are in the field. When you're traveling,
camps should be in the battlefield.
Yeah, but you're missing the context. Remember, the context is that those guys came out and prostrated, but the Muslims killed them. So what your prophet is trying to say, he's trying to avoid Muslims getting accidentally killed like those guys did.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the hadith.
That's fine. Even Khalid bin Walid, even he killed some people by mistake as well. They were polytheists, and I think maybe that's the instance maybe he's talking about. Khalid bin Walid went one place, Muhammad sent him as a general of the army. And some polytheists, they were polytheists. So Khalid bin Walid went there, and they were coming and shouting kalama, la ilaha illallah. Khalid bin Walid didn't understand what they were saying. They were not saying it properly. They were polytheists. And he killed them. And the other Muslims, they realized they stopped Khalid bin Walid. They're accepting Islam, they become Muslims now. So Khalid bin Walid killed them by mistake. That news goes to the Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that Khalid bin Walid has killed, and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was very cross with him. Oh Khalid, why you have done this thing in anger? You should have waited. They were Muslims, they became Muslims. They were not polytheists anymore. So Muslims can make mistakes sometimes. So maybe this is the same incident.
But actually, what you say actually makes kind of sense, because if they followed what Muhammad said, and they stayed somewhere where their campfire couldn't be seen by the other ones, then when the Muslims attack, they'll only attack the polytheist campfire, wouldn't they?
Yes.
And they wouldn't see the Muslims. So that's why I'm saying the Muslims should live far enough away from the unbelievers. So
in the battlefield, by the way. There is no way they're better.
So
you don't agree that is the battlefield?
No, but remember, he said live amongst. You don't live in the battlefield, do you?
So the campfire always can be...
But what about, I told you about Habasha. Muhammad himself sent Muslims to the Christian kingdom.
So what do you think about that?
He himself say go and live there, he's a peaceful king.
Yeah,
Come on.
So what I'm
That's
saying,
a hadith.
what is the example that shows that?
So we have to harmonize. This is talking about the war situation and not normal situation. And Muslims travel all over the world in the time of Khulafa, in the time of Abbasids. Muslims travel all over the place. Yes. In the time of Khalifa, Muslims went to China. There's a Sahaba who's buried in China.
Exactly.
There's a Sahaba who's buried in India. They were non-Muslims over there.
Right, but did he ever give the ruling saying it was okay to live close enough to see the campfires? Because remember, the only ruling he's given is to say you mustn't see the campfires.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but if you can't find another ruling
why are you
against...
ignoring the fact that he sent Muslims in Habasha?
Yeah,
why are you ignoring the fact?
But then...
That's your answer.
Yeah, but he
did send, meaning there's a misunderstanding.
So from what you're saying, that it is because of the battlefield.
It's the battlefield.
The fire come and these things, and maybe that story is just relevant for that one.
People don't used to live in the camps like that.
So
campfire is
in that case,
always when you're traveling for a battle and you're in the battlefield, you live in the houses. People used to live in houses.
Yeah.
The cities are built of houses.
Exactly.
Cities are not built of camps.
Yeah, I agree.
But notice he says they're fires. So when you cook, you use a fire, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what fires? This say campfires. Just says fires.
So actually, now you are just trying your best.
I'm trying to agree with the scholar. So the scholar said the Sharia forbids, so I'm trying to agree.
Like scholars can be right and scholar can be wrong. What
Yeah,
we're saying,
I'm defending the
our
scholar.
prophet cannot be wrong. Imam Malik, great scholar. What did he say? He pointing at the on the grave of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He say you can disagree with anyone in this world, any human being apart from this man of the grave.
Okay.
Meaning he's saying you can disagree with any scholar.
So in that
I
case,
can disagree with it.
if he sends the
Anyway,
people...
Michael, nice talking to you. Yeah, brother. Okay.
Yeah, nice to see you as well.
Abbas,
Ali, I'm Ali. Okay.
All right.
But easy, brother. This is the that's he made it clear. So see, I couldn't understand it, but now he said that Prophet Muhammad has sent people who are Muslims to Habasha, to Ethiopia.
Yeah,
So,
but how do you know they weren't told to not still stay and not be able to see the fires of the other Christians?
this is
But you don't know, do you?
that's also you see that battlefield, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't say battlefield. It says stays among. It doesn't say stays in the battlefield. And it doesn't even say campfires, like I said.
So still you're trying to say that Muslims are not following the Sharia law?
Yeah, I'm saying the Sheikh is. I agree with the Sheikh, and he's given a good ruling. Just he's a good Sheikh, isn't he?
Okay, that was the guy was telling you, and so that is relevant for that time, and
yeah, but remember what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't come to the country. That's not what I'm saying. But remember, I told you right at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's if you could open your window, and you can see they're cooking stove.
Yeah, it should be not that much.
Yeah, you're too close.
Anyway, I come from again.
Yeah.